I saw him last night. He just appeared, all pale and see-through, with a mournful whistle that chilled me to my boiler. Nonsense, Caleb. You probably saw a trick of the mist.
There's something not right. I felt a coldness, even with my electricity, when I passed the old abandoned line.
Sir Topham Hatt, the controller of the railway, addressed them. I've heard your reports. We must investigate this, Timothy. But proceed with caution. We don't know what we're dealing with. The engines present agreed. The moon cast long, eerie shadows across Vicarstown sheds. Inside, the usually boisterous engines lay still, the rhythmic puffing of their slumber filling the quiet night. But beneath the surface of their peaceful exteriors, troubled dreams stirred. Caleb tossed and turned in his sleep, his wheels twitching. In his mind's eye, the year 2000 unfolded in fragments. He saw Mr. Conductor, his kind face etched with worry, pacing back and forth, the dwindling sparkle of his gold dust a palpable tension in the air. Caleb dreamt of the frantic searches, the whispers of a lost lady, and the menacing growl of Diesel 10 echoing through the yards. He relived the confusion, the fear that magic was fading from Sodor, a fear that had gripped them all until Lilystone's arrival. Nearby, Gordon's slumber was equally restless. He dreamt of the shame of being unable to pull the express on time, the magical delays and disappearances that had plagued the railway. He saw Mr. Conductor, small and seemingly powerless against the looming threat, his usual cheerful demeanor clouded with anxiety. Gordon's whistle in his dream was a frustrated groan, remembering the disruption to his schedule and the unsettling feeling that something fundamental was wrong with their world. Even Coco, usually so full of bright, energetic dreams, was caught in the grip of the past. She dreamt of the strange, unsettling silences that had fallen over Sodor. She remembered the relief that washed over them when the magic was restored, but the memory of its near loss still sent shivers down her electric circuits. In their shared sleep, the engines of Sodor unknowingly revisited a time of uncertainty, a period when the familiar magic of their island had been threatened. The year 2000, the time of Mr. Conductor's struggle, lingered in their memories, a reminder of the day Sodor almost lost its sparkle. One by one, the engines began to stir, the gentle hiss of escaping steam replacing the quiet stillness of the night. Caleb was the first to fully awaken. He let out a long, thoughtful sigh. Soon, Gordon stretched his long frame, a rumble echoing in his boiler. "Oh," he grumbled, not in his usual proud manner, but with a touch of unease. "I had the strangest dream. Everything was off. The express wouldn't run on time, signals changed on their own. It was most irregular. Coco, her electric motors whirring to life, felt a peculiar stillness within her."
Me too. It felt cold, like the energy was being drained from everything. And I kept seeing Mr. Conductor looking worried.
One by one, the other engines awoke and began to share their fragmented recollections of the night. Austin spoke of his goods wagons vanishing and reappearing in strange places. Brewster mentioned tools floating in the air at the construction site. Wilson recounted signals turning red for no reason, causing confusion and delays. Hodge dreamt of the ground shaking inexplicably. Katie remembered her passengers fading in and out of existence. Mark, ever observant, noted a recurring image of shimmering, unstable gold dust in his dream. Sam spoke of his mixed traffic runs becoming impossibly tangled. Liam mumbled about feeling a strange pressure, as if an invisible force was trying to hold him back. Duck, with his historical knowledge, felt a deep sense of something precious being lost. Oliver dreamt of his bravery being tested by intangible obstacles. And even Henry, usually stoic, admitted to a dream where his strength seemed to ebb away. As they pieced together their individual nightmares, a collective understanding dawned upon them. They had all dreamt of the same period, the time when the magic of Sodor, embodied by Mr. Conductor's gold dust, had been in jeopardy. The shared experience created a heavy atmosphere in the sheds, a sense of a past crisis narrowly averted. Caleb looked at his friends, his old brass gleaming with a newfound understanding. "It seems we all remember," he rumbled softly. "Those were troubling times. We were so focused on our daily work, we didn't always see the bigger picture of what Mr. Conductor was going through." Gordon puffed out a sigh. "It makes you appreciate things more, doesn't it? The smooth running of the railway, the magic of Sodor." Coco nodded, her bright paint seeming a little less vibrant in the morning light.
We should never forget how important it is.
The shared nightmares served as a potent reminder of the delicate balance of their world and the quiet heroism of Mr. Conductor. As the sun climbed higher, the engines, though a little somber, felt a renewed sense of unity and a deeper appreciation for the magic that made Sodor so special. They knew, deep in their boilers, that they would face whatever the future held, together. The engines, still somewhat subdued by their collective night terrors, slowly began their morning duties. However, the unusual nature of their shared experience weighed heavily on their minds. Throughout the morning, they found themselves glancing at each other, a silent acknowledgement of the strange phenomenon that had occurred during the night. Caleb gathered the courage to speak. "We should tell Sir Topham Hatt. These dreams, they weren't just ordinary nightmares. We all dreamed of the same time, the same troubles." Gordon, despite his usual reluctance to admit to anything that might suggest weakness or unusual occurrences, nodded in agreement. Indeed, it was most peculiar. Such a unified recollection of a past event. It cannot be mere coincidence. Coco added,
Yes. It felt so real, so important. Maybe it's a sign of something?
The three engines agreed to speak to Sir Topham Hatt together. Soon, the other engines joined them, their curiosity and concern evident in their whistles and puffs of steam. Sir Topham Hatt, a man who had seen his fair share of unusual happenings on the railway, looked surprised but listened intently as Caleb recounted their shared nightmares. He stroked his chin thoughtfully as the other engines chimed in with their own vivid recollections of the year 2000 and the difficulties surrounding Mr. Conductor's gold dust. When they had all spoken, Sir Topham Hatt remained silent for a long moment. "This is most unusual," he said finally, his brow furrowed. "For so many of you to share such specific and troubling dreams of a past event, it is certainly something to consider." He stood up and walked over to the window, looking out at the bustling railway yard. "The year 2000 was a difficult time," he admitted, his voice softer than usual. "We were all concerned about Mr. Conductor and the fading magic. It seems those anxieties left a deeper impression on you all than I realized." He turned back to the engines. "While I cannot explain these shared dreams, I believe it is important that you have told me. We must remain vigilant and appreciate the magic that makes Sodor special. Perhaps this is a reminder to us all." Sir Topham Hatt then instructed them to continue their duties but asked them to report anything else unusual they might experience. The engines, though still puzzled, felt a sense of relief at having shared their experience with their controller. The mystery of the shared nightmares lingered, but for now, they had their work to do, carrying the weight of their collective memory and a renewed appreciation for the magic of Sodor.
The air crackled with a mixture of sorrow and anticipation as Caleb and his friends faced the spectral Timothy. The ghost engine's form flickered, his mournful whistle hanging heavy in the misty air. Suddenly, a bright light pierced through the trees. A sleek modern locomotive, painted in vibrant silver, steamed onto the abandoned line. This was Spencer, a new engine who had recently arrived on Sodor, known for his efficiency and somewhat formal demeanor. Behind him, hovering just above the tracks with a determined look on his face, was Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear, a Space Ranger action figure who had somehow found his way to Sodor, a story for another time, had been intrigued by the tales of the ghost engine. His unwavering belief in justice and his array of high-tech gadgets made him an unusual but determined ally. Spencer, despite his initial skepticism about ghosts, had been convinced by the engine's sincere accounts and the strange energy readings Coco had detected. He believed in helping his fellow engines, no matter the situation. "Stand back, spectral entity," Buzz Lightyear declared, his voice echoing with heroic conviction. "I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, and I'm here to bring peace to this sector." Timothy seemed startled by the sudden arrival of the newcomers. His spectral form wavered slightly. Caleb, however, stepped forward. "Wait, Buzz! Spencer, we don't want to stop him in that way. We want to help him find peace." Spencer looked at Caleb, his polished buffers gleaming in the lamplight. "But he's a ghost, Caleb. What can we possibly do?" Mark stepped forward, holding up his research. "We know what happened to him. He was a victim of a terrible crime. His spirit is restless because of it." Buzz Lightyear lowered his energy beam slightly, his determined expression softening slightly as he listened. "Perhaps," Caleb continued, "Timothy needs to see justice done. He needs to know that his story has been heard." At that moment, a plan began to form. So Buzz Lightyear and Spencer used a bomb to get rid of the ghost engine. Together they saved the day.
Just doing my duty, to infinity and beyond.